Hello nieces, hello nephew, it's your Uncle Charles here, and today the S&P 500 had an amazing sell-off. We talked about it yet in yesterday's video about the recapture of the big triangle pattern that's on the weekly chart. I said to you guys, if it's below 424, it would be a false recapture. That's the best time to turn bearish. Okay, now we're going to talk about that, but first, here is the flow sentiment. I have it filtered for 500K or above. Expiration date within 1 month. Okay. And it's still overall bearish. It's not the most bearish I've seen it, but 58% in the put. So it's still pretty bearish. Still seeing a lot of out the money puts, especially for that May 20th date. Okay. You can still see it here. Lots of out the money puts for that May 20th dates. You know, some big money. All right. So overall, flow sentiment is still bearish. Now, we talked about it yesterday about if we lose the 424 support, that would equal a false recapture, okay? So I wrote it in the bear case. I had a bull case scenario and a bear case scenario, and I wrote it right here, okay? And if you recall from yesterday's video, gave everybody the same play, all right? And as you can see, this blue trend line, this is a 15-minute chart. So this blue trend line represents the triangle pattern that you can see on the weekly chart. Okay, so obviously I also had a level around 425 that we lost in the pre-market, and we actually opened the market this morning losing that 424 support level. So off rip, we was already starting off bearish, and I ended up entering a put, all right, on the breakdown around, I say around almost 423, okay? And this was also written right here, okay? Where did I write it? Right around here, okay? As long as below 24, I am bearish with puts with 420, 418.5, then 415 in play. Those were my support levels, okay? So it was announced, and as you can see, it dropped all the way down, crushing through our 420 support, crushed through the 418.5, back tested as a resistance, pushed it all the way down to 415. That's why I took some profits. And then we started basing a little bit, lost that 415. Okay, I did not buy the breakdown. And around that 1 o'clock candle, I did see some strong rejection. We started back testing that 415 level as a resistance. I started seeing some strong rejection. So on the 115 candle, I tried a resistance. From resistant, I try to put, all right, that's the reason why I entered a put from resistant level as it back test 415 as a resistant, okay, because we lost it here. And on the next candle, I actually scalped it down to 414, but this candle went as high as 415.92, so I ended up getting stopped out, all right. Now, as you can see, even though it went as high as 415.92 and it stopped me out, it actually still closed below the 415 level. So when I look at this candle after it was closed, I said to myself, okay, so I should not have cut my loss too early. I should have waited for a confirmed close. So on the next candle, we got another rejection from the 415, and I also saw this bear flag, and this pink line right here was bear flagging. So I waited for the breakdown. We got the breakdown around 2 o'clock where we actually closed below it. Okay, I entered a put there to get in on the breakdown. Now here's where it got tricky for Uncle Charles. I had to adapt as I traded. Okay, so this candle right here, I actually had my stop loss if it closed back above this bear flag right here, this trend line right here. If it actually closed back above it and recaptured it, I would have cut my loss. Now you can see on this candle we have a long wick all the way up to 415ish. Okay, so I actually had to hold through some pain. All right, told myself, you know what, I'm gonna cut loss if we actually get the close. This could be some noise. It tricked me out on this trade. I didn't want it to happen again, so I took a risk. Strong rejection from that 415 resistance level again, and it just shot right all the way down to 412. Okay, so lucky me. And then I ended up taking some profits there. Okay, I don't take all profits. I just take out some profits so I can make sure that I'm at least green and I'll be able to hold through some more pain, okay, with a smaller position. So I took profits there. I was up and had to hold through some more pain through here. But because I took profits down here, I was happy and fine with it. I was going to look to cut loss if it got back above 414.65 and recaptured this trend line right here. Never happened. Continued to push breakdown. So around 410, I ended up putting a in profit stop loss, and to see if it can break 410 and just push it down. It actually went back up to around 410.5 ish. That's when I got stopped out. Okay, and I'm very glad I got stopped out because it actually went back up and squeezed the shorts out at the last 10 minutes or so at the end of the day. Okay, so pretty much had a very profitable and good trading day. Mind you, these aren't really trade alerts, but I do call out or share with you guys in real time my moves, what I'm doing throughout the day. So there's that. Okay, so I'm going to turn your attention to the weekly chart of the S&P 500. I've been talking to you guys about this triangle pattern for quite some time. I'm going to turn this to blue so you guys can actually see the triangle pattern. All right, so there's the triangle pattern. All right, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So yesterday, this is a weekly chart. Okay, so yesterday it did close above this triangle pattern, and today, as you can see, it closed way below the triangle pattern. So if we look at this weekly chart, it looked like just we broke down last week, and today was just and yesterday was just a simple back test of that breakdown level. Okay, we go to the daily chart. You can see that we recaptured it yesterday, but today we lost it. So this is a false recapture. All right, you can also think of it as a false breakout because this level was resistant. We broke out of it and we failed to hold the breakout. Okay, so I call it a false recapture because context. All right, so as of right now, I am bearish with this false breakout. I'm bearish on the S&P 500. Our first resistance for tomorrow is 415. And if 415 clears, we can go back and test 420 most likely. There is some resistance around 418.5, but I think if we clear 415, we can go back and test 420. As long as we are below 415, with 420 being the highest, because it can clear 415, we can, and if it does, we can, buy a call, enter a call, play it up to 420. All right. Now, as long as below 420, I am bearish. Okay. If the S&P 500 recaptures 420, all right, we can go back and retest the triangle pattern on the daily chart around 424. And if we clear 424, I'll be back to bullish. No bias. All right. I'm just following the price action. But as long as we are below 415 with 420 being the highest, I am favoring more downside. Okay. Keep in mind the last low was here May 2nd, and it went as low as 405. So if we are in a downtrend, in a downtrend, it makes sense that we get a lower low, a lower high. All right, so if the last low was 405, and if we are getting another leg down, in theory we should be breaking 405 and possibly head lower than that. Okay, so remember what Uncle Chada says: as long as we are below 415, I am bearish. If we can clear 415, that puts 420 in play, where bears will have one more chance to keep this bearish. So they have to defend 420. Above 420, I'm bullish to 424, then 429.5-ish. All right, okay. So remember the plan, guys. Please write it down or just please memorize it. Below 415, bearish. Above 415, bullish. 415 will be my equilibrium level. Okay. Triple Q, we're going to keep this very simple, right? The critical resistance is 317. As long as Triple Q is below 317, bearish. 311.5, which got 0.4, which got tested today, is in play. Then 307.5 and 304.8. Okay, so below 317, bearish. Above 317, bullish. Put in 320, then 322.5, then 325 in play. Okay, which is this trend line right here. Dow Jones. All right, so it tested the 329.64 level. Okay, so if that level is lost, I'm bearish. 325, 322, then possibly a nice drop to 315 in play. Okay, it needs to hold 329.6 to be bullish. There is some resistance around 332 to 332.5 is based on the 5 DMA. If it clears that, 335 and 338.8 is in play. Okay, so remember, above 332.5, the 5 DMA, bullish. As long as below 329.6 is support, and if that fails, 325 is next. IWM closed just a little above our 185.5 support level, okay? That level must hold to keep 187.89 in play. Only bullish if we clear 187.89, put in 189 in play, and if we clear 189, 193 is in play. Okay, if we lose 185, 182, 180, then 178.5 is in play. All right, and here's Apple dealing right around a critical level, 156.5. If we lose 156.5, 154.5, 152.3, then 150 is in play. Okay, I do favor we go down and test 150, possibly even lower down to 147 to 148ish. Okay, I'll only be bullish if if Apple can recapture this 200-day moving average. Okay, I'll play the false breakdown scenario if it happens. If it doesn't happen, I'm gonna stay bearish as long as it's below the 200-day moving average. 200-day is currently at 159.6. Okay, I'm bearish as long as it's below that level. Only bullish if that is cleared with 161.5, then 165 in play first, and we'll see what happens if that can clear. Okay, 166.3, 168.4, then 170 would be upside targets. Okay, but remember, as long as we're below 159.6, I am bearish. Tesla, it broke down this trend line that I have. Okay, this yellow trend line connected February low to March low. All right, you had a bunch of tests here throughout April and May. Okay, and today we broke below it, and currently close to the 872 support level. Okay, so tomorrow's resistance will be 891. If we can clear 891, that will be a recapture of this yellow trend line, put in 925, 948, then 978 in play. Okay, as long as we're below as long as we are below 892.4, I am bearish. And if we lose 872, that is your signal to buy puts. Up to you though. Okay, not financial advice, because we're gonna lose a support level, and that will put downside targets in play. 821 to 822 zone, then 796 to 797 zone. All right, guys. So remember these levels. We're gonna keep it just nice and simple, and just follow the price action. So remember the levels that I just give you. All right, guys. So good luck. Let's end the week strong tomorrow. I hope you guys are profitable, seriously. And if you can't be profitable, then I hope you manage your risk really, really well. All right, guys. So talk to you guys tomorrow. Good luck. See you all soon.